welcome to CyberCon, a CNBC-TV18 special broadcast on the rising cybercrime cases in India. I'm Santia and with me is Archana Solanki. The Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center has warned that Indians could lose over 1.2 lakh crore rupees over the next year to cyber fraud. The Home Ministry affiliated department says the quantum of losses could tantamount to 0.7% of GDP. Every day we hear more and more cases of tech-savvy scammers leaning on India's digital boom to defraud unsuspecting victims.
The whole purpose of this series is not to create panic, but rather to sensitize our viewers about the steps they could take, how vigilant they could be as far as saving their hard-earned money is concerned, their wealth, keeping it safe. So today on the broadcast, we will put the spotlight on the abuse of artificial intelligence to clone someone's voice, apart from using the technology to create personalized messages, educational material, etc. Now, fraudsters also impersonate a person's voice and dupe their parents or relatives of their money. Now, before we delve further, Santia spoke to a cybersecurity expert to understand how AI voice cloning actually works. Take a look.
Have you ever heard of grandparents or parents scam? Has it ever happened to you or anyone you know where they received a call from an unknown number but heard what seemed like to be the voice of their child? So this is how this scam works. The voice claims to be stuck in a difficult situation and asks the victim to transfer money in a specific account. Believing that the call is from their son or daughter, victims often end up transferring money. So how do fraudsters manage to mimic the voice of family members of a victim? It's called voice cloning. Today we are being joined by cyber expert Ankur Puranik, who is going to give us a demonstration on how voice cloning works. For safety reasons, we won't be able to give you a step-by-step explanation of the process. However, at the end of the demo, we'll see just how easy it is to clone someone's voice. Thanks a lot for joining us, Ankur. So how do we do this? What should I do?
First I'll require your audio sample of 90 seconds. So I'll request you to record your sample and then we'll process the sample.
Okay, and I can record it on my phone?
Yeah, just on your phone.
And I can say whatever I want to?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Just the 90 second thing?
90 seconds.
Okay.
Yes.
So here I'm going to record my voice sample. Hello, this is Santia. I work for CNBC-TV18. For the last few days, I'm working on the second edition of CyberCon, a special campaign run by CNBC-TV18, where we are trying to do our part. Right now, it's 1 minute 24 seconds, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And we are done. With this voice sample, now once you are done with the cloning part, you can make my voice, that voice sample, say whatever you want it to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there are some terms conditions that it asks you to accept.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll name it. So it asks, what tone will you talk in? This
so
cloning now, you can have
adjust it according to accents and everything.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. So because if your voice comes out like a US person or like a US woman, it's not going to sound original to your family members.
No, of course, yeah.
So
but if somebody wants to do that, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I've given a sample of my voice. Now Ankur is typing the text in the software. So once the cloning process is over, whatever this text reads, it will be heard in my voice. So here's the text. It says, "Hi, I'm taking a flight now. The flight has already taken off. I'm unable to call, but please transfer 25,000 rupees to this Google Pay number." This is a specific number he has given, a sample number actually. I'll call back once I land, and I have to turn off my phone now. So this particular voice thing is only for demo. He has written that also to be safe.
Yeah.
Let's do this then.
Let's check now what we get. Generate audio. So it'll be about 90-95% match. And what they do is they put a lot of background noise when they are playing this. So your audio when it is heard in silence, there is a possibility that somebody can make out. But when there is a lot of public talking in the background, so we'll see what has come out.
And anyway, if the voice claims to be stuck in a difficult situation, it's believable that there is a disturbance. There's some sort of disturbance, right?
Hi, I'm taking a flight now. Already flight has taken off. I am unable to call, but please transfer Rise $25,000 to Google Pay number. 99999. I'll call back once I land. I have to turn off my phone now. This is only for demo.
You know, I can tell you because the sound, the voice sounds exactly like my sound, and because when I spoke to, like when I gave my voice sample, I spoke as if I was shooting for a story. So that's why the tone, I guess, is like that.
Yeah.
So if somebody is if you get a voice sample, or if fraudsters get a voice sample of a normal conversation,
they normally pick up these conversations from videos that we put on Facebook or on Instagram. So it's a very natural audio. Right now it was a little polished audio.
So we started this process at 1:20 p.m. and we finished this process at 1:29 p.m. and that included me talking for 1.5 minutes while I was giving my voice sample. It included we talking to each other and also Ankur trying to figure out a couple of things. Despite all this, it only took 9 minutes. That is extremely dangerous, and that's exactly how the fraudsters are scamming people. Senior citizens are more prone to this category of scam as well. So if you or your parents or your grandparents ever get a call like this, we should tell our grandparents and parents, and we should be aware that we should not transfer any money to any unknown bank account.
Well, Santia, I'm going to be very, very careful if I ever receive a call like this from anyone. But this actually is a very scary piece of investigation. It is an eye-opener. It's a big reality check. For the benefit of our viewers, could you help us understand the key takeaways that you drew from this story?
So Archana, for example, somebody like me, I'm not a tech-savvy person, right? So first of all, I was amazed how easily it was done. Right, of course, Ankur is an expert, but what I figured that you don't really have to be a high-level hacker, a sophisticated hacker to do this. It's that easy, it's that quick. It took less than 9 minutes, and as I mentioned, in those 9 minutes, it also included Ankur doing a couple of things because there was some error, so he was rebooting stuff and all that. So it actually takes 5 to 6 minutes. That's all it takes. Another thing which really scared me, that how easily these fraudsters can get access to your voice samples. For example, it's the Instagram era, it's the social media live era, wherever we go, whatever we do, we upload those videos of ours, right, where we are talking, and as I mentioned, when I was giving my voice sample, I spoke as if I was in the studio or shooting for a story, or PTC. So that's why the tone was very professional. It was not a normal conversational tone, hence the difference, right? And also another thing, that when we heard this audio, the reason it's still, because it sounds around 80% like my voice, right? So the reason it sounds like that, because there is no disturbance in the background. So for example, if a fraudster wants to scam my parents, so what the person will do, the person will add a lot of background noise, horns, or maybe chit whatever, a lot of background noise, so that it will sound more believable. My parents won't be able to understand that it does not really 100% sound like me, sounds like me. So that is a dangerous thing which I figured. And for people like us, right? For people like us, Archana, another dangerous thing is that this is our professional hazard, if I can say that, if I can put it like that, because our audio, our video is out there for the fraudsters to copy easily. One more thing, when I gave my voice sample, I gave only a sample of 90 seconds. That is the maximum time limit. If there is a smaller voice sample also, fraudsters can use that. It can be as small as a 10-second voice sample as well, Archana. So dangerous things, absolutely dangerous.
Absolutely, and very important piece of information that you're sharing with us. We are also joined by cyber security expert Ankur Puranik and information technology consultant Rusbe Raja on the broadcast. Rusbe Raja is a visiting professor of law at Mumbai University. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on this broadcast and making time. As you saw this report that Santia Gora reported, and she actually put the spotlight on the dangerous abuse of artificial intelligence. For the benefit of our viewers, if Mr. Puranik, we could start with you first. We know the information is readily available. Our voice samples are readily available. It is these samples that the scamsters are using to actually dupe people, innocent people. For the viewers who are watching us right now, what would be your piece of advice?
Yeah, so you saw how the entire process was. It was very simple and anyone can do it. Now, of course, we did it only for demo purposes, but we tend to put on a lot of content on social media which is public and it is easily available to these cyber criminals, and they can extract this audio clip what we recorded with Santia for around 90 seconds. So this is easily extractable from these videos, and that is exactly how they try to clone the voice, and the bigger the audio clip, the more accuracy towards the voice. So we normally take flights and we put status on Facebook and social media, I'm flying to so and so place. We are giving free information to the cyber criminals that my phone is going to be switched off for the next 1 hour or 2 hours, or if it's an international trip, maybe for 4 or 10 hours. And this is the exact thing what these cyber criminals take advantage of. They know your phone is going to be switched off. Even if your family members or friends are going to call you, you're not going to be reachable. And this is exactly what they do. And they know when to do this. So, we should try to restrict putting this information on social media. I know it feels good to tell people I'm traveling abroad or whatsoever, but you're putting yourself at a big risk. Secondly, always educate your family about such things, that if at all there is such call received from my end, you can have a code word which only you and your family members know about. So this code word can be exchanged to really make sure whether it is you or somebody else. And even we put this long clips of social media where our voice is very clear, and so a lot of these things are there which can even through a call. Now, if I want to take your voice, I'll just make an audio call to you, whether it be a wrong number or whatsoever. I'll just engage you in some conversation, like I had sent you this parcel and did you receive the parcel? And that much clip is also enough for me to extract the audio. So, resources are many. It's about how we protect ourselves. So it is about you and your family getting educated about this, everyone being educated about how this cloning works, voice cloning works, and making them aware, and to have some protective means wherein you exchange some kind of code word before any transaction is processed or anything such is processed.
Right, and these are some of the observations which we also made. We realized how easy it was. Mr. Raja, I would like to come to you. Your expertise is legal aspect of cybercrime. So when you deal with the victims of cyber fraud, how many cases, I'm just looking for an average figure, how many cases of voice cloning do you come across?
Right now it's very rampant, and out of about 10 cases related to phishing and cyber fraud, recently there have been at least 50% cases which were related to some sort of voice element in them, whether it was gaining confidence by impersonating a voice or changing the tone of voice, or pretending to be some very important person, or pretending to be the CEO of some company. So about 40 to 50% of newer cases relate to voice samples and voice element in the fraud.
Right. Also, speaking of legal remedies, I actually want to talk to you about that. A lot has been said, written, covered about cyber fraud. But as far as legal remedies are concerned, what exactly can be done in order to first make the reporting process easier for victims, and then securing a conviction if we get to make arrests? Mr. Raja.
Right. So there are two aspects of reporting and taking any legal action. One is filing a police complaint, that is the criminal aspect. And the other is the actual recovery of money. If any money has been lost, or if any damage has been done, any monetary compensation is required. So that falls under the civil aspect of the Information Technology Act. The Information Technology Act covers both these aspects, but people don't know that the police and the investigating agencies will only help them to punish the criminals or the offenders. They won't really help to get back the money unless that person voluntarily gives the money. For getting back your money, there is a separate procedure for claiming compensation and damages. That is under the civil aspect, that is under Section 43 and the civil contraventions of the Information Technology Act.
Right. Mr. Ankur Puranik, if I may come to you for the next question. have you observed a pattern here? Who do you think are the most vulnerable targets as far as these kind of scams are concerned? Because, imagine if you're getting a call from your loved one, and if, there's a sense of panic in their voice, or they're asking for immediate help, it's very obvious for anyone to fall prey to that. But have you observed a pattern? Because you've seen in scams like FedEx scam that women were targets, or senior citizens were the most vulnerable. Or in this case, who do you think are the targets?
They observe you, they observe the social media, and they know exactly what kind of people sit with you, whom you interact with, what is your, because they don't want to end up entering into a call or a conversation where they are not well to do financially. So somebody who can come under that emotional pressure. So right now we did a very smooth call, whatever we did, the demo, but when it's an actual call, they try to put that stress in the voice, and so at that time, all your logical brain shuts down. Basically, when your logical brain shuts down, any person, so it can be you, it can be me, your logical brain is put to shut. So this is the psychological aspect of it, which I'm not too good at, but yeah, I know how it works. So I know about what psychological games they play. So they try to put this part, logical part of your brain to shut, and then you or your family members tend to agree and accept to any terms and conditions, and they make your sound or your voice sound like you're in distress, you're in an emergency. So at that time, you don't think about anything, whether I should do or not do. So of course they do target their victims who are from a little well-to-do families, who are being observed, college students. These are the young generation or the old people who are there, who can fall to this prey, because they are not educated about all these things, So grandfathers, grandmothers are more made victims of this.
Absolutely. A very important piece of advisory coming in from Ankur Puranik there. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to us and sharing this crucial piece of advice with our viewers, because we have been covering extensively the kind of impact these cyber scams have on people. Santia has also been comprehensively covering this. Santia, what next do we have on the broadcast?
So Archana, it's time for a short break. On the other side, we get our viewers the report on how scammers are tricking people in the name of fake government schemes using fake apps.
Welcome back to CyberCon. Cybercrime cases are surging across India and scamsters are becoming more and more tech-savvy and sophisticated as they prey on the unwitting, vulnerable victims. In our ongoing series, CyberCon, CNBC-TV18 Cybercrime Tracker, Shivani Bajaj reports that even government welfare schemes are not being spared when it comes to defrauding the public. Take a look.
Over the last few years, the government has launched a flurry of welfare schemes to uplift various sections of the society. But even these are not sacrosanct where fraudsters and online confidence tricksters are concerned. The latest fraud doing the rounds involves one of government's major schemes, the PM Kisan Yojana. The Tamil Nadu police raised the alarm when it came across incidents where a malicious app named PM Kisan Yojana was distributed via channels like WhatsApp and used to defraud victims who downloaded the app thinking they would benefit from government schemes. In Hyderabad, for instance, a private employee recently lost nearly 1 lakh rupees after downloading a malicious file embedded in a fake PM Kisan Yojana app. Here's what happens. Fraudsters create fake apps disguised as trusted government schemes. These are distributed via WhatsApp and other channels, including social media. Once downloaded, the app requires the user to register using sensitive details like Aadhaar, PAN, date of birth, and bank credentials. Meanwhile, the app is embedded with malicious code that gives the app's creators control over users' phone, including SMS permissions. This allows the con artist to intercept SMS traffic on which banks send OTPs to authorize transactions and manipulate UPI platforms to conduct unauthorized transactions. Experts say it's time the government acted, especially because such frauds put the reputation of government and its schemes at risk.
A lot of these things happen in groups that you're part of. You get some link which will be in some form of that either you can participate in something and you'll win something, or there is some another scheme that you're signing up for, or there is some government benefit that you can avail. And because of that, somebody clicks on it and without any verification. Recently in the United Kingdom, a new regulation was unveiled where if you are a victim of some form of payment fraud, up to a certain amount, you will be made good. Now that is the legislation that is being enabled. And the platforms where this fraud is either originating or terminating at, they will have to participate in making the victim good on the losses.
Police say these scams have caused significant financial and emotional distress, with many victims unaware until their bank accounts are drained. They add that following the money once it leaves the bank account is proving to be a challenge, since the funds are often routed through multiple UPI apps and in some cases even sent offshore.
But regulations alone are not enough. Awareness and preventive action by users also have a part to play in safeguarding against such frauds. This includes double-checking that the only official apps and government portals are used to access government schemes. Government websites usually end with a .in and not .com or .net. The name of the publisher or the developer of the app should be verified on the App Store before download.
Experts also advise people to log on to cybercrime portal, that's cybercrime.gov.in, or call 1930 as soon as they realize that they have been scammed. They also say that any request for personal data, debit or credit card PINs or OTPs should immediately set off red flags and be reported. They also urge that online transactions only be carried out through verified secure portals and no sensitive information or document be uploaded to unknown and untrusted portals. Other advice includes don't answer video calls from unknown numbers and don't fall for attractive offers, because if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. In New Delhi, Shivani Bajaj.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That is one thing we have been saying again and again on CNBC TV18. We started the special series last year. This is the second edition, and the motive here is to spread awareness. First and foremost, if possible, do not share your information on social media. Do not put out your number, do not put out your plans, do not mention that you are taking a flight, where you are going, when you will be unavailable. These are personal details. So limit what are you going to put on social media, and if you think you got scammed, please call 1930. Stay aware, stay safe. That's important. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of CyberCon. More news and updates on the other side.